Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every morning here on BettingPros.com, wherever you get your audio podcasts, and always on YouTube with the link that's below me. Yep, I said that on purpose. Underneath me, everyone in the Discord channel gets a big old kick when I say below me to get into the Discord channel where you guys are going to want to be coming up here today, because that's where I'm going to put the baseball play today. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I can't tell you the odds yet because, well, the game for the Giants is not over yet, although they're up 6-1. So our money line plus 120 is looking pretty darn good here. So we'll cash that and go 1-0. I'm going to call that a win here, even though it's not officially over just yet. It's 10 o'clock on the West Coast. It's time to tape this thing and get this thing up to 1 a.m. on the East Coast. So we will do that. BetMGM, you guys know by now there are a couple of different offers available for our title sponsor. If you guys want to go ahead and sign up, Arizona, hi, welcome to the party, guys. Jump on in. More on Arizona here in just 1 second. But you can bet $10 to win $150 on any event with the promo code JUICE150. Or we got a new one for you. You want to go even cheaper? $5, okay? It's a $5 bet. You pick a side, you pick a money line, total. And if either team scores a touchdown, you win $100 with a $5 bet. Your team does not need to pick. You don't need to be the team you pick to if you bet a side to cash on this. It's Juice 100, okay? Either team scoring. So you bet like, I don't know, I'm going to lay, I like the Giants on Thursday Night Football, hypothetically, and the Washington football team scores the only touchdown. You will still win $100 in free bets with a $5 wager. Juice 100 is the promo code at BetMGM. That's the new offer now. Juice 100, $5 bet. Win $100 if either team scores a touchdown. Pick a side, money line, total, whatever you want to do with that game. Team scores a touchdown, you win $100 in free plays from BetMGM. Okay, so here's the baseball play that I'm going to give you guys. And as of right now, the time of taping, there is nothing out at the moment for these two games. However, the Astros just lost to the Rangers, okay? That is not something that happens very often for the Astros, and the Rangers are bad. I don't really care about the pitching matchups. Just going to lay the minus 215 here with the Astros. However, I'm going to come back here with the Dodgers with a two-leg money line parlay. You can sub out the Dodgers if you want to go with the Giants here to go for the sweep, as the Giants have really beaten up on the Padres. However, the reason why I'm not doing that is because it looks like the Giants are going to go with a bullpen game coming up here for today. So I don't love that. That makes me a little bit queasy, but the Dodgers, at the time of taping, they're up 8-4 on Arizona. Arizona only has 19 wins on the road. I feel comfortable coming back tomorrow with a better pitching matchup for the Dodgers than the pitching matchup for the Giants. So if I'm going to go ahead and look for the other side, I'm very confident after losing 8-1 to the Rangers that the Astros come back and just win the game outright coming up here over Texas. So we've got the Astros on one side, and then taking the Dodgers to come back at home against Arizona. It's Bumgarner against Julio Urias. I like the Dodgers just to win the game here. And so we get a sweep of Arizona. Their woes on the road continue. And it should be somewhere around plus 115. Okay, that's approximately where I think this is going to wind up being for a half-unit play. So 1-0, half-unit plus 120. So obviously up 0.6 units here for yesterday for a Tuesday, and I'm going to take the other half a unit, and I'm going to put it down on a two-leg moneyline parlay. LA and Houston, we're coming together here for a two-leg moneyline parlay on a Wednesday, which takes us to Thursday. So one baseball bet for you guys. It should be plus 115, plus money on a two-leg moneyline parlay for Astros and the Dodgers. So to football we go. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football. The Giants on the road at Washington. So Washington opened up at minus 4.5 with Tyler Heinicke at the quarterback spot because Ryan Fitzpatrick is hurt and out for 8 weeks. Now, what's interesting about this game, and you look at where the Giants are coming in. Giants lose 27-13 to the Broncos. So Giants are 0-1. Danny Dimes has never lost to the Washington football team. So everyone's seemingly making a play just on this game going to be tight. And, well, 3.5, 4, 4.5, too many points. The number now is 3. Washington -3. And this is where I want to get involved with it. In particular, if it goes below 3, and it might drop below 3. I don't know, guys. Taylor Heinicke played pretty well in place of Fitzpatrick last week. He went 11 of 15 for 122 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions in the loss. That wasn't his fault. The Washington defense couldn't stop the Chargers. And look, I mean, Ron Rivera, he trusted this dude last year in the postseason. The team had this guy out there, and it's not like he's a complete and total nobody. Like, he is a decent quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to set the world on fire, but he's been around. He's not that young. He's 28 years old. He's been in the league for 4 years. He's got some tools, and he's got some weapons. And I know it's a short week, and this is where everyone's like, okay, here comes Saquon Barkley. He's going to run so much better now. And, here comes Tyler Heinicke. Now he gets the first team repetitions. Look, they're not bringing in Cam Newton for a reason, okay? They're not bringing him in. And the reason is, I think they think Heinicke can play. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. He's a veteran. They went with him. He gets hurt. And now you get the backup coming in. It's his time at home. Look, the defense for the Giants is going to be tested. I really do believe that. And I think if you look at the numbers, the Giants defense gave up 165 yards rushing last week to Denver. They gave up 255 yards passing to Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think Heinicke's going to throw the ball all over the place, but I do think the running game is going to be good enough for Washington to move the football. And on the other side, I mean, New York threw for 254 yards. I think the defensive line for the Washington football team is better than what Denver's defensive line is. I think the defense is better. And look, you know that the Washington football team, they want to snap this losing streak to Daniel Jones. They want to get a victory desperately. And I think you're going to see a pretty angry team here at home laying just 3 points. Now, 3 is a monster number, okay? I wouldn't bet 3.5. If you get 2.5, I absolutely love this at 2.5. I know dogs have been barking. I know there are a lot of people, a lot of professional money that has come in here to drive this number down from 4.5 now down to 3. But I'm not going to take any stake in what just happened in week 1 where underdogs were winning outright like crazy. I'm not going to take any stake that, look, the Washington football team has not beaten the Giants in 5 games. All I'm going to do is, who's the better football team? And I think Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. I think the Giants' defense is not that great. I do think it's going to be ugly. But here's the promise I have made to myself. Even though I like the under in this game, I am not betting totals for this week in the NFL. Okay, I'm just not doing it. I went 1-2 in week 1. I'm not doing it. I'm not betting unders, not betting overs, not betting unders. Okay, just betting sides. And to me, I know Joe Burrow. I know that Tyler Heinicke is not going to be a great quarterback. In this game, you could say Daniel Jones is the better quarterback in this game. But I think home atmosphere. I think having it on Thursday Night Football, not traveling. And Saquon Barkley, coming back from a serious knee injury, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for him to get used to running the football again and being a go-to guy. He ran for 26 yards on 10 carries at 2.6 yards per carry. Do we all of a sudden just expect him to explode? I mean, against this defense, against the Washington defense, I just find that really hard to believe, and I find it hard that, in prime time, they're going to want to feed him, obviously, and they're going to want to get after it. But the defensive line is just so nasty for Washington. Chase Young and Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne and Montez Sweat. I mean, this defense is legitimate, man. And I just think the offense is not good enough for the Giants. I think this Washington team wins. I'm going to lay to 3 points. Washington -3 at home on Thursday Night Football to win and cover against the New York Giants. Play number 1 for the NFL, 1 full unit. Play number 2 is Cincinnati taking on the Chicago Bears. Andy Dalton revenge game. Here comes the red rifle. Uh-oh. Did you guys, I went back and I watched a lot of the highlights of Chicago. It's amazing to me that Matt Nagy has a job. It's amazing that Ryan Pace is being allowed to rebuild this roster because this roster sucks. I'm sorry. The Bears are bad. They're bad. Andy Dalton. The reason why they're not playing and they have their shills in the media, and I'm sorry, Andy, I don't know what Adam Schefter was trying to do on Monday Night Football, but that's not his place, trying to defend what the Bears are doing and justifying what the Bears are doing. Dude, report the news, okay? Don't get involved in the whole political, politic game of who's starting and who's not. I don't need your opinion. I don't really care about your opinion. Just report news, okay? And Justin Fields should be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. But they're doing a package for it. Nagy actually said after the game that Justin Fields doesn't have as good of a grasp on the playbook as Andy Dalton does. Hello. I mean, man, you've got Trevor Lawrence, you've got Zach Wilson, and you've got Mac Jones, who have all started games. They all lost, but they all started games in week number 1, and they all looked fine after their first couple of series. They all settled down and played pretty well. And Justin Fields was drafted before Mac Jones. Like, what are we doing, Chicago? It's incredible to me. But I got Joe Burrow. I got those wide receivers. I got the better quarterback. Burrow's a much better quarterback than Andy Dalton. I think he's a better quarterback than Justin Fields as well. Jamar Chase looked really good. Look, I think the Bengals, they're catching 3 points. It opened at 4. It's down to 3. I got a road dog here. I think they win the game outright, but I'll take the 3 points here. Bengals to win up against the Chicago Bears. And frankly, look, I love the Bengals. We bet their over win total, and we get 2 wins for the Bengals out of the gate. I'm going to be in love, man. I'm just going to be absolutely ecstatic if this team's able to win. First game at home in overtime against the Vikings, 27-24, and now on the road, they win outright against the Bears. Good chance that we wind up pushing with a 3 if Chicago does wind up winning. I do think it's going to be a lower scoring, tighter game. Again, I think the under may be in play here, but I'm going to take the 3 points here. Cincy, if you get 3.5, I like it even more. But right now, every number I've seen is 3. Open at 4, which has been bet down. If you got the better number, that's awesome. I'm just taking the 3 because I think the Bengals win the game outright. I think Chicago's going to get booed off the field. I think this could be a really rough year in Chicago. Not a fan of this Bears team at all. You guys are, they're going to play much better than they did in week number 1. They've got the kinks out and look out for what they're. Nah. I mean, on the road at the Rams, their offense couldn't really protect Andy Dalton. They couldn't move the football. Bengals defense is nowhere near the Rams. I'm going to give you that. But I think the offense is as good. If the Bears defense is not good, they're going to get killed. And Matthew Stafford picked them apart. And I think the Bengals offense may be better than the Rams offense. Rams defense is way better than the Bengals defense. But the Rams offense, look at the skill players. The offensive line's probably better than the Bengals. But quarterback play, I love Burrow, okay? Wide receivers, I love what the Bengals have. So if the Bears defense doesn't show up, it's going to be a very long year, long day potentially for them coming up on Sunday. So first play on Sunday, Bengals +3 against the Bears here for 1 full unit, okay? So our 3 plays for today, 1 in baseball, 2-leg moneyline parlay, Astros, Dodgers, half a unit. Should be around +110, +120, somewhere in that range. And then we're going with, on Thursday Night Football, we're taking the home team, Washington -3 up against the New York Giants. And we're taking the Bengals +3 on the road against the Chicago Bears coming up here for a Wednesdays, pushing the odds. Plays on Thursday and Sunday. 1 play going for you guys in baseball as we get back to football on Thursday. And then we get rolling in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the fun for Monday Night Football. More football plays, all still to come later on this week here. We're giving you 2 college football plays, now our first 2 NFL football plays here for week 2 of the NFL. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter @SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast. Right here on BettingPros.com, always being brought to you by BetMGM.